Ahmad Motevaselian, Persian, Arabic letter Aleph, Arabic letter Ha, Arabic letter Mim, Arabic letter Dal, Arabic letter Mim, Arabic letter Ta, Arabic letter Wa, Arabic letter Sin, Arabic letter Lam, Arabic letter Farsi, Arabic letter Aleph, Arabic letter Nun. An Iranian military attaché, was one of 4 Iranians who disappeared in Lebanon in 1982. During the Iran-Iraq War, he was a commander in the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and established the 27th Muhammad Rasulullah Division of Tehran. He played a role in the liberation of Khorramshahr and later, as part of a senior diplomatic group of political and military leaders, went to Syria. On the 5th of July 1982, when the vehicle carrying the diplomats was passing through a checkpoint post on its way to Beirut, it was intercepted by PHLN's party. The car and 4 passengers completely disappeared. Iran has accused Israel of kidnapping and holding them in Israeli jails and covering up their fate. Israel has said it is not aware of the fate of the diplomats. Iran called on the International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, to investigate their whereabouts. 3 decades after the incident, the fate of the missing diplomats remains a mystery, and the search for Motevaselian and the other Iranians continues. However, it is assumed that shortly after their abduction, they were executed by the PHLN. Early life. Ahmad Motevaselian was born in a religious family in 1954 in the south of Tehran. He spent his primary school in Mustafavi School in Tehran. During his education, Motevaselian helped his father in his pastry shop. When he was a teenager, he participated in religious ceremonies and masque and started his political activities against the then-ruling regime of Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, the Shah of Iran. After finishing his primary education, he went to industrial school and received his diploma in 1973. Before the Iranian Revolution. After graduation, Motevaselian went to Shiraz for military service and participated in a special tank training course and was then dispatched to Sarp-e-Zahab. During his service, he continued his political activities against the Shah. After military service, he was employed in a private company and after a few months was sent to Karamabad. In 1976, the SAVAK, secret police, arrested him for his political activities. He was jailed for 5 months in solitary confinement in Falak Olaf Castle in Karamabad. Motevaselian actively participated in the 1979 revolution in his neighborhood and also the south of Tehran. After the victory of the revolution, he established the Committee of the Islamic Republic in the district near his home, and later joined the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. After the Iranian Revolution. Following the success of the revolution, Motevaselian engaged in various revolutionary political and military campaigns. The operations against opposition within Kurdistan province, fighting anti-revolutionaries in Bokan, Bayna, and Sagaz in 1979, liberation of Sunandaj in western Iran from anti-revolutionaries, liberation of Pave Kermanshah Road in 1980, liberation of Marivan City in May 1980, liberation of Desli Heights. Established the 27th Muhammad Rasulullah Division Operation Baitul el-Muqaddas on the 30th of April 1982. Mission in Lebanon. After the liberation of Khorramshahr, Motevaselian knew that Israel had invaded Lebanon. In June 1982, he went to the Lebanese-Syrian border as head of a commando unit, but the unit was sent back to Iran by Syrian authorities. But Motevaselian stayed for protecting Iran's embassy from Israeli and PHLN party. On the 5th of July 1982, when the vehicle carrying the diplomats was passing through a checkpoint post on its way to Beirut, it was intercepted by PHLN party, and the car and 4 passengers disappeared, despite diplomatic immunity and that they were using an official state vehicle. For the last time, Iranian diplomats were seen at Barbara checkpoint that controlled by Eli Holbayaka. They were then abducted by the PHLN party. The missing diplomats are Motevaselian, military attaché and the head of the commandos of the June dispatch, Sayed Mohsen Mousavi, chargé d'affaires for the Iranian embassy in Beirut, and Tati Rastigar Moghadam, the embassy technician, plus Kazim Ukavlan, A journalist for Islamic Republic press agency. 8 years later, Gigia said, they had been killed on the orders of the group's intelligence chief, Eli Hobeika. According to an Israeli report, these men were killed by Lebanese forces. Israel claimed in a statement in 2010 that the diplomats had never been surrendered to Israel. Elsewhere, in response to a request by the Lebanese Hezbollah, it claimed that the four were dead. But Iran has accused Israel of kidnapping and holding them in Israeli jails and covering up their fate. Also, Iran called on the International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, to clarify their whereabouts. Israel has claimed that it is aware of the fate of diplomats, and that they were kidnapped by a Lebanese militant group and executed shortly after their abduction. It was believed, by whom, that they were then buried at a site that was later obliterated by construction works. 3 decades after the incident, the fate of the missing diplomats remains locked in a debate between Iran and Israel. Apart from this debate, many scholars have assumed that shortly after their abduction, they were executed by the PHLNG. Investigations. Adnan Mansour, Lebanese foreign minister, at a meeting with the families of the abducted Iranian diplomats said, Beirut have sent the United Nations 2 formal letters in the past 2 years confirming the abduction of the Iranian nationals on the Lebanese soil, and these have been recorded as official documents at the UN Secretariat. The Lebanese Justice Ministry has been asked to submit a report on the latest investigations conducted into the case, vowing not to spare any effort at both national and international levels to resolve this painful issue. Former Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad is quoted by Iran's Fars news agency as telling UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon during a meeting in New York City, regarding the 4 abducted Iranian diplomats, there are documents that show they are alive and in the hands of the Zionist regime. He also added that, we expected UN Secretary-General to take serious measures for their release. On the 23rd of May 2016, Hossein Jegan, Minister of Defense of Iran, stated that Ahmad Motevaselian and Iranian diplomats who disappeared in Lebanon are alive and prisoner in the Israeli jails. In popular culture, As Tough as Iron 3. The third volume of the As Tough as Iron collection is about the life of Ahmad Motevaselian, written by Zahra Jabi Maten. This book is published by Al Hoda International Publications and is published in English and Arabic. As Tough as Iron consists of 7 sections. Ahmad Motevaselian, a man who struggled, Motevaselian in the Revolution Guards Corps, Motevaselian sent to Kurdistan, and Motevaselian goes to Khuzestan are some of the book's sections. Ambush of July 1982. Ambush of July 1982 is calendar of events about kidnapping Iranian diplomats from 1982 to 2005, written by Hamid Dahoudi, Arabic letter Ha, Arabic letter Mim, Arabic letter Farsi, Arabic letter Dal, Arabic letter Dal, Arabic letter Aleph, Arabic letter Wa, Arabic letter Dal, Arabic letter Aleph with Mada above, Arabic letter B, Arabic letter Aleph, Arabic letter Dal, Arabic letter Farsi. This is valuable book for knowing what happened to the Iranian diplomats in Lebanon. English translation of book was unveiled by the head of Foundation for the Preservation of Relics and Values of the Holy Defense, Mohammed Bagherzadeh. The book published by Gemran Foundation and Foundation for the Preservation of Relics and Values of the Holy Defense in 292 pages. Standing in the Mist. Standing in the Mist is a 2015 movie about Ahmad Motevaselian. Writer and director of the film was Mohammed Hossein Madavian and produced by Habibullah Valinejad. The film was selected for 34th Fajr International Film Festival. Ahmad Motevaselian Memorial. There is a statue of Ahmad Motevaselian installed in Maraun al-Raz, Arabic. Arabic letter Mim, Arabic letter Aleph, Arabic letter Ra, Arabic letter Wa, Arabic letter Nun, Arabic letter Aleph, Arabic letter Lam, Arabic letter Ra, Arabic letter Aleph, Arabic letter Sin, a Lebanese village in Jabal Amal, Mount Amal of the Nabatuai Governorate. The statue is a memorial and tries to demonstrate that the commander was kidnapped. Abdul Majid Farahani, the designer of Motevaselian statue, stated, After the studies that I had regarding the biography of Ahmad Motevaselian and talking with my friends, I decided to design the statue of this great myth in an epic condition which make the people remember him. Since Ahmad Motevaselian launched many operations in Kurdistan and due to the mountainous areas of that place, the idea of designing Ahmad near Iraq was something fantastic. The pivot of the idea also is the finger pointing of Ahmad, and it shows his targeting. Indeed, this great character had mentioned some sentences against the Zionist regime. See also Iranian diplomats kidnapping, 1982, Sayed Mohsen Mousavi Kazamukovan Rastigar Moghundam, list of people who disappeared. References. External links. Investigations documents for Iranian diplomats in mass media documentary film about investigations for Iranian diplomats, in English. Missing Iranian diplomats case remains unsolved after 3 decades, the 8th of July 2012, in English. Iranian diplomats still alive in Israeli jail, in English. Iranian diplomats still alive in Israeli jail, in YouTube, in English. Iran marks 29th anniversary of 4 diplomats kidnapped in Lebanon. July 10, 2011, in English. Ahmad Motevaselian Picture Gallery. Ahmad Motevaselian Pictures and Avenue website. Ahmad Motevaselian Pictures and Sajed website. Statue of Ahmad Motevaselian in Palestine borders.